The Myrtle Plantation is over 100 miles from New Orleans, but it may as well be the French Quarter with how many spirits roam here. It was built in 1796 on a Tunica Indian burial ground by one of the leaders of the famed Whiskey Rebellion, David Bradford. General Bradford was a lawyer and Deputy Attorney General for Washington County, which both Pennsylvania and Virginia both claimed. He became a major figure in the Whiskey Rebellion. The protest was one of the first tests of the newly formed federal government, and President Washington sent troops to arrest the leader. Bradford was one of them that they sought after. Knowing what was coming, he fled to the Spanish territory of Louisiana. There he built a home and plantation and called it Laurel Grove. He lived there alone for several years. President John Adams eventually pardoned him, and he sent for his family to move to the plantation with him. After his death in 1808, his wife Elizabeth took over the plantation. In 1817, she sold it to a close family friend that had married their daughter Sarah Matilda Clark Woodruff. The Woodruffs had 3 kids, Africa Gale, James, and Mary Octavia. Tragedy struck the Woodruffs in 1823. Sarah Matilda, James, and Africa Gale all died from yellow fever. Rumors claimed that they were really poisoned by a young slave girl named Chloe. Being the last 2 survivors, Clark and Mary Octavia left and sold the plantation to Ruffin Gray Sterling in the 1830s. Shortly after, Sterling died and his wife took control. She renamed it Myrtle Plantation after the many crepe myrtles that grew in the area. The plantation is believed to be built on a burial ground of the Tunica native tribe. Some say that is why so much paranormal activity happens here. The spirit of a young indigenous woman has been spotted on the property. Although the records say that the 3 Woodruffs died of yellow fever, rumors stated that they were poisoned by a slave named Chloe. Clark had taken a shine to Chloe and took to forcing himself on her. She had no choice, for if she refused, she would be flogged publicly. Wanting revenge, she listened to Clark and Sarah's business dealings in an attempt to hear something that she could use. One of them caught her eavesdropping through a keyhole and had one of her ears cut off as punishment. She started wearing a green turban to cover it up. She formed a plan and baked a cake for the family, boiling down toxic oleander leaves and added it to the cake. She wanted them to get sick so she could get back in good standing with them by nursing them back to health, though some claim she just wanted to kill them. Whether her plan backfired depends on her intentions. If her intention was their death, she succeeded. Sarah, James, and Africa died from eating the cake. The other slaves, not wanting to get in trouble for appearing to harbor Chloe, took her in the middle of the night, hung her, and tossed her into a nearby river. Some say that that story is fake, but many others swear by it. Her ghost has been seen there at night, often standing over the beds of sleeping guests. Many visitors to the plantation report seeing the ghost of a young black woman wearing a green turban in different areas. One photographer even took a photo of her while he was surveying for an insurance company. They swore that nobody was standing in that spot the day he took the picture. The spirits of the poisoned children have also been spotted there. Africa Gale appears in the room she died. Guests have also seen her from outside, staring out the upstairs window. Some say she has an uncanny resemblance to the young girl in a painting in the game room. William Drew Winter is an attorney that Mrs. Sterling hired to help the plantation's finances during the Civil War. Following the war, they found themselves flat broke. Their assets had been tied up in federal currency, which was worthless after the war. They were forced to sell the plantation, but was able to buy it back 2 years later. Winter was mysteriously shot dead there in 1871. Rumor is that a man named E.B. Weber was the one that pulled the trigger, although the reason Winter was targeted is unknown. He was shot on the front porch, but walked into the house wounded and attempted to climb the stairs. He died on the 17th step. His ghost is one of the most encountered spirits at the plantation. He has been heard stumbling up the stairs at night. Some are fooled into thinking that the sound is another guest, but those that investigate are startled to find nobody on the stairs. Some have seen a phantom trail of blood from the porch into the house, while others have seen his spirit crawling up the stairs, begging for help. The ghost of a young girl who died in 1867 also haunts the Myrtle Plantation. Her cause of death is unknown, but a voodoo priestess tried saving her with magic rituals, but they failed. Her ghost has been spotted in the room where she died. Guests claim to have woke up to a young girl practicing voodoo on them while they slept. 3 Union soldiers attempted to loot the plantation during the Civil War. Shortly after starting, they were shot to death, supposedly by Confederate soldiers. Years later, a maid attempted to clean the bloodstains, but they wouldn't come off. Some claim that they've seen the bodies of the soldiers lying on the first floor in a pool of blood. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and until next time.